Hi, welcome back. This is Charlie. We are on the final signature for our album, Brocante Antiques, and this is the signature we're working on. This is the base page that I elected to use. We're kind of down to the last several sheets of the paper collections. You're going to cut this at 9 5/8 by 8 5/8, a little bit bigger than what we've been cutting because we're playing with that last back panel. What I have decided to put here is a left side pocket, and on this left side pocket I'm going to play with some of the elements that are in the cut aparts as well as the chipboard pieces. So this is one of the lamp chipboard pieces, and then the rest of this are cut aparts, and I wanted to somewhat layer them in here a little bit, putting the hat boxes down first, then that bunny, and then I'm going to bring this bunny in here, a bear, and then I have a trinket. It's a sewing machine trinket, and I'm just going to set it in there to split these two up just a tad bit. So I'm going to go ahead and get it all taped and glued into place. I've already trimmed and put in my centerpiece there. I'm going to get this glued in real quick. Just right down to the last signature. It's always fun because then you know that your album's complete, and hopefully you've had some fun making it. So I'm going to get some tape on here real quick. It's been kind of fun for me to use a die cut. Now you've probably been using a punch, which is totally acceptable, but it's just bringing a different element into album making, which is always fun. Okay. Get my pick tool. This is just going to slide right in there like so. We're going to be playing with a lot of chipboard and tags on this one because there's lots of them left. So now what I want to do is figure out, I had this all set in earlier so that it looked the way I wanted it. Okay, so that's how I'm going to set it. To me, with my eye, it looks like I've got a little bit of depth behind here and going into that guy. Now I'm going to kind of leave everything where it is and glue this lamp in place behind him. Okay, I want to come in right about here. Now, this guy, And then this bear, I want that lampshade to kind of show all the way through so that it looks like they're sitting in front of it and that it's accented still in behind it if you can manage it. See how you can see the lamp through there? Now I'm going to put this little teddy bear here, and I'm rethinking what I'm going to do with this sewing machine. I want to use this element. I'm trying to figure out where is going to be the best place for it. Because if this is sitting on a shelf, maybe I'm not going to be able to put this in here. I think I'm going to hold off for now. All right, now we're going to cut the chipboard. Goodness sakes, I do that all the time. We're going to cut the cardstock for your left side panel is going to be at 4 7/8. You're going to score it at 1/2, and you're going to score it at 3/4. Put your tape on it, and then we're going to stick it up underneath here. Get this in place. Push back on that score so that it stands up. Beautiful. And then this one on the underside. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the 12 by 12 sheet I cut into next. This is going to be for the right side panel, and this is going to complete our left side panel. So I'm going to finish this one first. Now we are going to have a left side flap, a right side flap now that's going to measure at 7 1/8, scoring it at 1/2, and scoring it at 5/8 of an inch. We have a little bit bigger buildup over here because of these elements and the pocket. But we don't need quite that much on this side. So we're going, oh, I put the tape on the wrong side. Ah, what a goofy girl. And I'm just going to leave it because I need tape on that side anyway. And then when I place this again, I'm going to come right up to that 1/2 inch score line. Get this back level again. Push back, and this one I'm going to really reinforce. Okay, so now when you open this, this will be the panel here so that you can kind of see it going straight across. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to get this glued in. It's somewhat of a large piece. See if we can get it glued in before the glue starts to set from the beginning. mindful of my score line. Okay. Now, the panel pieces that are going to go here, I cut this piece for this flap, losing my words. And I'm going to get some glue on this. And then I'm going to start here on this edge. Perfect. Now, in your cards, postcard page for cutouts, I chose this one, Preserving Traditions Through Time. And I have mounted it on cardstock, dark brown cardstock, and I've taped it. And we're going to put it here in this corner. Sorry for the hesitation there. I was rethinking where I was going to place this. But it's going to work just perfect right here. So using this as an example, you've got a nice little tuck. Okay, this is set and done. Now this, I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. I want to get this big piece, our final cardstock piece, cut and have you guys get that set. This is going to measure 9 inches across. You're going to score it at 1/2 and you're going to score it at 3/4. We need a little bit bigger gusset to help absorb the gusset we just created here. So then this is going to slide in here and we're going to fold it over. So I have 2 pieces of tape on this side, who cares? And I know I could have rescored and turned it, but this works just fine for me. That way I know it doesn't come apart, seriously. Give that a good score. All right, now on this side, there is this patterned piece that was left, and I think it's beautiful. So this is what I'm using. On this side, it has the soft teal, and due to its size, I'm going to end up taping this in, simply because the glue will dry too fast. So we'll get this taped in. And then we're going to play with one of the big remaining chipboard elements, and it is the Brocante Antiques storefront. It's where I mounted mine. I'll show you here in a minute. I mounted mine on some dark cardstock so that it would stand out against the heavy pattern on the other side. And I don't want the paper popping up and down, so we're going to put a little bit of tape there. Okay, do a dry fit real quick. I love this piece right here. I just think the colors, the whole design of it is, to me, it's so pretty. Okay, so this is the piece I was talking about. I've been wanting to do something with it. But it's big, it's large, it's got some substance to it. So to me, the best thing I could think of to do with it was to make a tuck out of it so that you can come in here with some cards or invitations, whatever you're using this for. So I've taped on the outside to the right and across the bottom. And I'm just going to sit it right here. And the other purpose that this will serve is to help keep things closed because of the weight of it. It will help keep things closed. But like I said, you've got lots of room here to put another photo, and then you've got this wonderful little tuck. Now, the front pieces. You have a piece that has this beautiful rose in the upper left-hand corner and the teacup in the lower right-hand corner. So what I did was I measured this across this page, and then I cut it to fit, and then I still wanted this rose in here, but it's like this much longer, so I pulled the rose down on this side and cut off across the bottom. Across that bottom, this is what was left. There are some rose pieces that I fussy cut out of it, as you can see. And I'm gonna, once I get this piece glued down, I'm gonna glue in these floral here across the bottom. And I have a chipboard floral piece I'm gonna incorporate in there. So let's go ahead and get this piece down. I can use glue on this one. We are going to make a little tag closure with a magnet, so we don't have to worry about placing magnets on these pieces. This is such a pretty piece right here. All right, so then, like I said, I fussy cut out those roses from this bottom piece that we cut off, and I am just going to glue it in place right here, add some more color. And then I have this chipboard piece that I want to incorporate. Trying to figure out how I had that set like this. Okay, so chipboard piece is going to go down right there. I think it's one of the last remaining small chipboard pieces. And then this little floral piece. I'll sit in like so. Okay, gives a little bit of depth. Some elements across the bottom. Now on this piece, you can see I fussy cut out the teacup. I couldn't end the album without a good old fussy cut. And then I used one of the chipboard, I mounted it on brown cardstock. It's going to slide right in here. Now I will tell you that with being very careful, I cut this out of here, and I'm going to get it back in here so that I can set this so that's, we are not looking at this tan, but you're looking at the pattern paper. So I'll get that set in. And I use that postcard element. And then I cut my tag, which this ended up being 4 inches by 1 1/4. I scored it at 1/2 and I scored it at 3/4 because it needs to wrap around that. I do have to set this magnet right here. I'm glad I didn't go ahead and glue that down. Making sure that everything matches your top, your bottom. It's nice and level. It's not crooked. Make sure that your gussets are standing up pretty tall. We're going to slide this in here, hopefully at about midpoint. Okay. Take this off the back. Oops, I do not want that setting that way. Okay, straighten that out a little bit, top to bottom. Okay, there we go. So we'll come back to this guy here in a minute. I want to get this in. Okay, so this is how this is going to look. There it is. I don't want to lose that. I've been playing with this all day long and creating this signature, and I have struggled to not lose this, so I'm not about to lose it now. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape as much of this as I can, and I'm going to glue around this so that I can set it down in here. But I'm going to tape first. Get the perimeter done. So I'm going to put a piece here and a piece here so I don't have to glue as much. And now I'm going to remove, where'd my picker go? Oh, there it is. I'm going to remove these two and then I'm going to add my glue. I want to get it set and then I can take the tape off the perimeter. All right. Pull this back in. And I am going to just carefully line this up. Pull that so I don't have to take it apart. All right, now I can take the tape off. The outside. And I'm going to go ahead and glue this in place, or tape it in place. I'm sorry, I'd already pre-taped it. It's going to sit right about there. Now, I've mounted this all on kinds of pop-ups And I'm going to pull them off and get this in place here and 2 shakes. Oh, I can't forget that small piece. I got to do that first. So that's supposed to ride in. Am I going the right way with this? Oh, it goes to, oh. See, that's what happens when you, all right, so it's going to sit in at that angle. Now, you don't have to cut yours out. In fact, you don't even have to fussy cut the entire piece out if you don't want to. And then when this sits right back into its cubby hole, its little place that is sitting back in behind there, all right, so now these pieces, I cut some strips and I've inked them. And I'm going to get those on. And then we're going to dress up the front of that tag closure. I don't think I added enough glue here. There we go. Now, in your cut-aparts, there is this spoon. I thought it would be appropriate, seeing how we've got a teacup here. And then I cut out, no, that's too bad I lost one. They're tiny. Oh, there it is. They're so tiny. There were last 2 remaining little floral elements, so I wanted to cut them and put them here at the end of the spoon. I'm trying to figure out which way I want to do this. Okay. Set that about there. Now, where'd that other one go? Where did it just go? There it is. I think I'm losing it. I'm losing my pieces here. And then we'll glue this in. I'll get this capped off because we're just getting about done. All right, so this is, that could probably use a little straightening, but I'll do that off camera. I just remove this and straighten it out a little bit. But this is your final signature. You got a nice sturdy pocket over here. This would be great for heavier items. And on this flap, we have a nice little pocket here, and you've got lots of room here for photos. This I left alone. I thought it would be better for photos to come in here and let these elements be the accent behind the photos. You can put a photo over here or a journaling note, and then you have a nice tuck here. So let's go ahead and get the back of it taped. Excuse the noise while I dig out a new tape roll here. I apologize. I'm going to lift this real quick and straighten it out just a tad. Best to do it now before I get this committed to getting the tape. Now when we get this set in there, there's a few little finishing touches that I want to do. But we're going to get this secured first. I need to put my lid back on here, so bear with me. All right, grab the album. If you're ready to go, put this in place, and I'm going to turn it this way. Make sure I'm going the right direction. And then I cut this so that it would balance, I hope balance on that brown cardstock. Okay. Burnish this. Let's go ahead and get this committed to the album. Make sure that the gusset stands up nice and straight. And then I have two pieces over here that I need to take off. Make sure the gusset stands up straight before I commit that first half. And then get in here for that second piece. If you're new to my videos, I don't like taking the tape completely off before I commit to a signature. I want to kind of take it apart piece by piece, make sure it's all in there correctly. Because I've had to take signatures off before, and then I have all that tape to undo. All right, so now the signature's in. What we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some 1/2-inch strips to fill in each of these. You're gonna want 1, 2, you're gonna want 3 of them. So what I'm going to do is really quick, I should have done this before, but I have all these scraps. I don't know what all you've used, but I want to try to find a scrap piece that's going to be pleasing, but that's also going to be help break up. That's too much. How would that look? No, I don't want that. This is kind of the process I go through, so if you're going through it too. But you want to find a piece that you're going to like, that's going to carry some character. I wonder if I can get 3 1/2-inch pieces of this. I like it. Well, let's see. Pardon the trimmer. Okay, there's one. I'm cutting 1/2 inch because those are 5/8 of an inch gussets there. All right, so let's go ahead. I do want to quickly ink these up so that they have some nice balancing color that matches, and I don't like white edges. Okay, there's one. You know, I didn't even thoroughly check the length on this. Whew. That worked out perfect. All right, so then this is the next piece. And we're going to lay, this helps to break up all of the color through here and makes it look complete. See, this is just, to me, is just not a good look. You don't have to do this, but I think it's just a nice, clean way to finish off an album in between the pages. Okay, look at that. It's done. That is your album. So let's go through this just real quick. So we have this front page, which we did, or I did, some fussy cutting around and with a tuck over here. And we've got a nice little pocket. And then we had this one. We did some fussy cutting, and we made a couple of pockets and a tuck. And then here, I did some more fussy cutting on both these pages. We have a pocket over here and a pocket and a pocket. Okay, that's gonna go that way. And then here, I left this alone. I bet you're happy that I didn't do a fussy cut on that. But we did do a belly band using one of the tags and one of the chipboard pieces. I did use some strips in here to kind of break up this brown pattern because I wanted to leave this for your photos. And then we have a nice pocket over here with some of the cut aparts. And then we have pockets and a long big pocket there. And then we get down here, and this one flipped up. We had a nice pocket. We left the base of this alone. Great places for putting some photos, and we had a nice big deep pocket with some tucks here on this page. And then, of course, your last page. We did a fussy cut, or I did. You did not have to do that if you didn't want to. And then we had a nice page here for photos, and we have a beautiful spot here for photos, and we have a tuck. And then we have this big, nice, heavy-duty tuck for maybe some larger items. And then this would make a great photo opportunity, and you've got tons of room for photos here with a pocket. And that is your album, Stamperia's Brocante Antiques. I hope you enjoyed, and I do hope that you'll come back for the next video. I'll be playing with another collection. See you then.